Hello, I'm Jo-Leigh and welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is going to be a quick stretch on the lower body, but really focusing on tight hip flexors. So if we sit down a lot in our job or just in life, then they start to get really tight and pinched. So these are just going to be some nice stretches to release them out. So all you need is yourself and your mat, so you can do it anywhere. So to get started, we're going to start onto your knees. Your knees are hip width apart, hands onto your hips, so your shoulders are nice back and down, your chest is lifted. Now just take that right foot forward, like a nice big step forward, knee over your toes, and we're just going to really start to sink down into those hips. So my hips are level, both the hips are facing the front, so we don't twist into the hips. They're nice and level, and we're just going to really sink down as low as you can. Again, keeping the upper posture nice and strong. I'm just going to hold there for 10. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2. Now last one, you're going to keep the legs nice and how they are, and then just bring your hands either side of your foot. So seeing if you can go a little bit lower into those hips now. Just holding there for a few more seconds. Now with your left hand, just take it to the outside of your left mat, out to the side. Take your right hand, you're going to take it into the inside of your right leg. Just start to gently push it out so you can go a little bit lower into the hips. So a little bit harder option, if you have the flexibility, is to come down onto that elbow, not on a ledge like me, but so really trying to sink nice and low into those hips, opening them all the way up. Going to hold there for a few more seconds. And then just carefully bringing it all the way in. Now coming back into this lunge position, take your hands either side of your foot. Now we're going to start to rock your hips back. So transfer the weight over to the back. Start to straighten your right leg. Take your toes up high and then start to soften back into that knee. Drop the hips back down. Starting to rock back. Toes go high. Try to straighten the leg. Hips again are nice and level, so you don't want to shift the hips. Rocking forward. So also really trying to keep this nice upper back if you can. So we want the shoulders nice and down, chest lifted. So even if you're here, it's better to be here than here. So keeping the back nice and straight. We're just going to move through that stretch a few times. Let's go for 2 more. And then last one, we're going to gently rock all the way back into that hamstring stretch. So again, really sinking down into that right hip. Toes go high. So we're trying to hinge on the hips forward over that leg. We're just going to hold there. Keep breathing into your stretch. I know this one's painful. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2. And last one, transfer the weight forward and carefully lift up with the body. Now we're going to go for a pigeon stretch. So with this right leg, you want to bring it across. You want it to go into a 90-degree angle. Sit down into your hip. Your left leg, ideally straight if you really need to. Bend it so you've got 2 90-degree angles. But if you can, take that leg all the way back. Drop that hip down, so we're not here. Drop it down. Leg at that 90, hips facing over the front leg. If you can, come over. But again, really trying to keep that back nice and strong, so we don't want to round into the shoulders. Seeing how far you can go. We're going to hold here for 15 seconds. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now last one, we're going to try to make this as seamless as possible. So take your hands down and gently bring your right leg all the way back into our box position. So your wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips now. Being strong in the core, so we support that lower back, so we don't want to be here. Nice and strong. Now with this right leg, you're going to keep it at a 90-degree angle, and you're just going to start to make circles round. So just in one direction. So imagine that there's a pencil on your knee, and you're making big circles with that knee. So really challenging yourself, how big they can go. Keeping that right foot nice and flexed. And then just trying to keep even weight into both your hands. We've got 3 more. Then we're going to circle the other way in 2. And then last one, let's go the other way. So this way's always a little bit more difficult. That's why we will naturally go one way. So big circles with that knee. Four more. For 3, 2, and now that last one with this right leg, you're going to take it all the way out to the side. So your ankle is in line with your hip. Your leg is nice and straight. Just try to put your foot so it's nice and flush onto the floor. All we're going to do is start to hinge back in the hips, keeping the leg nice and straight, keeping the toes where they are, hinging all the way back if you can. Again, shoulders back and down, not here. Nice and controlled. Chest lifted. Seeing how low you can sink in those hips. We've got 8 more seconds. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, carefully come up, lower down your knees, and we're going to repeat on the second side. So I'm going to turn around so you can see. So starting with your knees, hip width apart, hands on your hips, shoulders nice and back and down, chest nice and lifted. That was very commanding. So then taking that left foot, nice big stride forward, hips facing the front, starting to lower down into those hips. Sinking the hips nice and low, core nice and strong, so we don't want to go into that lower back. We've still got a little bit of support going on here. Sinking nice and low. For 4 more seconds. 3, 2, and then last one, just bringing your hands all the way down to the mat. Now taking your right hand to the outside of the mat, taking your left hand to the inside of your left knee. Slightly pushing out with that left knee, sinking your hips down even more. Remember, if you can, option, take down your right elbow. I'm slightly cheating here. Take it down, really sinking nice and low into those hips. So now this foot, you're going to move onto the side of it, but that's okay. We're just going to hold here for 8 more seconds. Nothing better than stretching by a pool, right? For 4, 3, 2, and last one. Carefully bring it in, bringing your hands back either side of your foot. Now we're going to start to transfer the weight back, straighten the leg, take your toes up high. Hinging all the way back forward, transferring the weight onto that front leg, that left leg. Drawing the hips back, trying to straighten the leg, toes up high, remember, nice posture. Coming all the way forward. Drawing back. 3 more. So just starting to work and wake up into that hamstring. And then making this your last one, you're going to draw it all the way back, hips in line, shoulders back and down, hinging on the hips over that leg. This one's a horrible stretch, but it's good. Let's go for 8 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, transferring the weight all the way forward. Now we're going to go into that pigeon pose. So hands down to the mat. This left leg, we want to turn it all the way in. So now this left leg, reposition, is at a 90-degree angle. Drop your right hip down. Your right leg is nice and long. Remember the modification if you need to. Bring it to the side of you so you've got 2 90-degree angles. But if you can, take it all the way back. Hips nice and level. So that right hip is facing forward. 90-degree angle with this left leg. If you can, go over. Again, back flat. Hinging all the way down, sinking down into that right hip. So taking in those breaths, it will get you through the stretch. But also in Pilates, we breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. It's a little bit different to yoga. And that is so we can really use our lungs. As you breathe in, you want to expand into your lungs, exhale through them. And then taking your hands down to the mat now, as seamlessly as possible. Tuck it under your right toes, try to draw that left leg all the way in to come back into our box. So into your box, wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, core supported, even weight into your hands. Now that left leg's going to stay at that 90, it's going to make big circles around. Pencil now goes onto your left knee. Weight even between the hands, but really challenging yourself to see how big those circles can go. Light support in the core so we don't arch into that lower back. We've got 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Now we're going to circle the other way. Big circles round with that knee. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and then last one, we're going to take that left leg all the way out. So the left foot is in line with the left knee. So the leg stays nice and straight. Try to get that foot all the way onto the floor so we're not here. Take it all the way down. And then just start to hinge the weight backwards. Draw it back. Back stays nice and flat. Sinking into those hips. Let's go for 6 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, carefully drawing it all the way in. Now just transferring onto your bottom, taking your legs out. So your legs are slightly wider than your hips. You're about a hip, shoulder width and a half distance out with your legs. Feet go out onto the floor, knees are bent, nice and even on your sit bones. Take your hands into a sailor position, so fingertips to your elbows, shoulders back and down, chest lifted. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the side. You want both knees to go down to make 2 90-degree angles, and you rotate over to the side. Coming all the way back to the center. Drop down now that right knee, whatever way you went. Make those 2 90 degrees. Lift up. So trying to be careful here. If you need some support with your hands, then do. So what we want to be careful is that we don't come all the way back here and round into that lower spine or the upper spine. So really trying to keep that upright posture. Again, if you need to assist with your hands, then do. You want to try to drop that hip down, bring the leg over to the side leg, body over to the side leg. Come down, twist, up, twist down. the way over to the other side. I'm shifting forward off of my mat. 3. Let me scooch back for 2. And just one more each side. Carefully bring it back to the center. Bring your hands either side of your sit bones. Bring your feet together. So feet together. Take your feet, the soles of your feet together. Knees go wide. Hands go onto your ankles. And you're going to roll your shoulders back and down, lift your chest. And then just try to squeeze your knees onto the floor. It's a nice little butterfly stretch to end. Go for 6 more. We try to squeeze those knees down for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just finding a nice comfortable position. So I hope you enjoyed your quick stretch, really focusing on those hip flexors. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more workouts. I'm Jo-Leigh and I hope you have a fabulous day.